channel, and today we will be doing a low level design of BookMyShow. So this is a very famous question which is asked frequently in top product based companies. So yeah, let's see how you will design this a problem when it comes in your interview. So as soon as you see BookMyShow, I assume like everyone of you must have uh, visited BookMyShow's app, and you know how it works. What are the touch points there? What entities are there? Okay, so I'll tell you the flow how BookMyShow works is whenever you open the app, first of all you'll see that there is an option to select a city. Based on this city, you'll be shown all the events happening there. So as soon as you click on the event, they'll show the list of the shows which are there in for particular venue. Okay, so this is the way this app works. Okay, so in if we see this, we'll get to know what all entities can be there. So first of all, there will be an event which is happening at a particular venue. Okay, so this venue can be theaters or stadiums, anything. Okay, so in a venue there are multiple places where an event can happen. Okay, there is a there is a building where there are multiple auditoriums, so there can be many event spaces. Okay, same with theaters, there can be multiple audies, so there can be multiple event spaces in a venue. So there is one entity called event spaces. Now in each event space there is a set number of seats which are there, which user can book. So there are seats, and apart from seats there is a show. uh, so this show is like an event happening at a particular venue in event space at a particular time is a show which a user is allowed to book. Okay, so there is show. Now show after show there is obviously booking which user can do, and also payment. Yes, these all entities can be there. Uh, Apart from this, there is also one entity which is city. So every event is closely linked with cities. So there can be possibility like event one is happening at particular city, but it is not happening for other cities. Okay, so obviously there is a mapping there. So for city, what we can do is we can just create one uh, enum. This is an enum. Okay, like values can be like Agra, Kanpur. Okay, so there can be values like this. In city there can be list of cities. Also in this video we'll be doing the uh, classes which can be made in Book My Show design. Plus we'll also see what schema structure will look like, DB design. We'll be doing the DB design also in this. If you want to see how the high level design works for Book My Show, I have created a detailed video in depth of how Book My Show Book My Show's architecture looks like, and I'll mention that link in the description. You can go and watch it there. Okay, let's get started. So first of all we have event. So see, there is an event which obviously has a name and ID and when it was released, other metadata. If we want, we can add it here. Plus we will be having getter setter functions which will help us to update or get data from this event. Now I only want to keep this event separated and don't want to perform any other operation apart from CRUD. So I've created a controller here. What this controller will do? This controller will help us to do all kind of mapping, filtering, fetching of events. Okay, so in this controller I will have list of all the events out there. Plus I'll maintain a city to event mapping. So which city, what all events are happening. Okay, so for this map to get updated, I have created a function add movie. or we can say that it can be called as add event for now, since we are dealing with events. Okay. Okay, so similarly, we can search in any event based on the filter we have, and also if we want to get any particular event for a particular city, we can pass city and get. I mean, we can get a list of events, and then we can pick up that particular event which we want. Okay, so this event controller will handle that all thing. Now comes to the venue part. Venue will again have ID, city, of where this venue belongs, what is the name of the venue, and getter setter functions. As we have that created controller for event, I'll be doing for venue also. So here this venue controller will be having list of all the venues. Plus it will also have mapping of city and list of venues. Okay, so if we want, we can add new venue in a particular city. Also, if we want, we can get all the shows which are happening for that particular event in that particular city. I'll let you know how this function will tell all these about all the shows. uh, okay, so just remember there's a function in venue controller where we can fetch all the shows for that particular event in a particular city, or also for the fact we can also have all the if we want, we can get all the venues also for that particular city, but we don't need it in our app for now. Yeah. So now every venue will have their venue space. Okay, and venue space will have a list of seats. Okay, so there is a seat which will have its number and its price. Also we'll have a getter setter functions in these classes. This is simple. Now comes so since we have created a event space, so this event space is linked with venue. So we'll have this list of event spaces inside venue. Okay, so yeah, we have list of event spaces inside venue, so that we can know what all spaces are there. Now since event space is there, event is there, venue is there, everything is there, now we can create a show. So what a show will look like? Okay, so show will have its ID at which event space it is happening, and what event it is hosting. Plus it will also have list of all the booked seat IDs for that particular show, and when it is happening. We'll have that getter setter function, plus we'll have one additional book uh, book function where we'll book a particular seat for that particular show. Okay, so now see, one venue can host multiple shows at single point of time, also on different times if there is only one event space. So since a venue can have multiple shows, we'll have list of shows inside venue also. Okay, yeah. Now coming back to this venue controller get show, how we get all the shows? So see, we have passed city. First from city we'll get the list of venue. Okay, so from list of venue we can get list of shows, and we'll see that which show is hosting this event which we have in this which we have in the parameter of get show. So like this we can get all the shows of that particular event in happening in that particular city. Okay, so yeah, this is uh, now comes to booking part. Okay, so every booking will obviously have at which event space this booking is made for, plus what was the amount, and what all seat it is booked, and obviously payment. So payment will be another entity. We can add a different metadata of payment here. Now comes to book my show part. Will be a main class where we'll be having venue controller and movie controller. Okay, and it will have its getter setter functions, plus we'll have one function book where we'll allow user to create a booking of a particular event space, of a particular event. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all for the classes which we can have. Now I'll also created a code. I'll give you the GitHub link also for the code where you can see the working functionality of these functions and these classes. Now comes to the DB design part. So obviously I told you there is city is a main entity here which is binding everything. So we have city and all the metadata regarding city, and now we have events also which are happening, and for which event is happening at which city we have created a table called city events, where we also have this status field which will tell us this is happening currently or not, or it has happened, it is enabled, disabled. We can have multiple statuses here based on our requirement. So this city event is just a mapping table of city and events, because there can be end-to-end mapping here. Okay, now we have venue. Our venue is always linked with a city. For a city, for a venue they can only one city, so we have city ID inside venue only. For event spaces, we have there can multiple event spaces, so we have venue ID here and what capacity that event space can handle. Plus we have seats. So for that event space, how many seats are there, what are the number, what are their prices, we can have it here. Okay. Now comes to the part where we have shows. For show, we have ID, which event space it is booked, at which time, and for which event that show is happening. We'll have the show seat, what all seats can be booked in this for this particular show. So this show seat will have all the seat IDs for that particular event space. Okay, so this we'll have this seat ID here, and is it booked or not. How this data will get populated, if you want to know, you can see that in my HLD video, where I'm explained how this show sheet works and how this data is being populated. Okay, so now we have one booking table where we will know which user has booked which show and what all seat he has booked. So see, if you want to see the queries which we can perform, and so when we design a database, we make sure of one thing, like what all query patterns which we can have, and all our database should support that query patterns, and it should be efficient. Okay, so if we want to see all the events for a particular city, we can have this query where I'm getting events from events and making a join with city event. Okay, now if I want to see all the shows for that particular event or that particular city, like which we were doing in this venue controller for getting all the shows for city and events. Similarly, we can do it here in this query where I am joining the show with event space and venue, and filtering it with event ID and city ID, which are their primary keys. Okay. So city has your obviously a foreign key of venue and a primary key of its table city. So yeah, this all is there which we can do, and these all query which we can run, and it will help us to achieve what all data we want. Okay, yeah, I think that's it from my side. I'll upload the GitHub. I will upload my code on GitHub and share the GitHub link in the description. You can check, and you do check the HLD video. It is very good learning for you all if you want to see how the architecture really looks like for BookMyShow. Yeah, thank you everyone.